The clock struck 12. A hush fell over the crowd. Thousands had gathered, their faces a tapestry of anticipation and anxiety. Fireworks erupted in the distance, painting the night sky with fleeting bursts of color. This was it. India was free. Yet for many, the dominant feeling wasn't joy, but a gnawing uncertainty. A line had been drawn across their homeland, cleaving it in two, and in the process, tearing apart countless lives. Families huddled together, clutching meager belongings. The weight of their decisions, of leaving behind homes and histories, hung heavy in the air. A wave of migration, unprecedented in scale and speed, was about to begin. This was the other face of freedom, partition. Fear was a palpable presence, whispering in the shadows of newfound liberty. The air crackled with it, as palpable as the humid August air. Amidst the celebrations, the seeds of fear, anger, and resentment were sown, destined to bear bitter fruit in the years to come. The night was young, but it carried the weight of a history about to be rewritten in blood and tears. The radio crackled to life. In villages and cities, people huddled around, eager for news. Jawaharlal Nehru's voice boomed, proclaiming India's tryst with destiny. India was free from British rule, but freedom had a price. Newspapers carried stories of jubilation and the Union Jack being lowered. They also carried chilling accounts of violence across new borders. Independence joy was mixed with fear for loved ones. Rumors spread, fueled by uncertainty and fear. The media shaped the narrative of this tumultuous period. Its stories and voices had a lasting impact on the nation's memory. From the bustling city of Lahore to the sleepy villages of Punjab, the story was the same. Families torn apart, their worlds turned upside down. The lucky ones managed to escape with their lives, carrying little more than the clothes on their backs and the haunting memories of what they left behind. The roads were choked with refugees, their faces etched with exhaustion and fear. They walked for miles, their meager belongings piled high on their heads or loaded onto bullock carts. Many didn't survive the journey, succumbing to hunger, disease, or the brutal violence that erupted along the way. Children were separated from their parents, their small hands clutching desperately at the last vestiges of familiarity. Women were subjected to unspeakable horrors, their stories a chilling testament to the dark side of human nature. The partition wasn't just a division of land, it was a tearing apart of the very fabric of society, leaving behind wounds that would take generations to heal. The dawn of August 15, 1947, was met with mixed emotions. India was finally free, a moment generations had fought and died for. The joy was palpable, a collective sigh of relief sweeping across the nation. Yet this joy was inextricably intertwined with the deep sorrow of partition. For many, the pain of losing their homes, their loved ones, and their way of life overshadowed the euphoria of independence. The celebrations were a bittersweet reminder of what had been lost and what could never be fully regained. The duality of this moment, the joy of freedom coexisting with the deep wounds of partition, would forever be etched in India's narrative. It was a time of immense hope and crushing despair, of new beginnings and painful endings. The echoes of that fateful night continue to reverberate through India today. The partition may be a historical event, but its legacy lives on in the stories passed down through generations, in the lingering pain of displacement, and in the continued tensions between India and Pakistan. The arbitrary borders drawn during partition continue to shape the geopolitical landscape of the region. The two nations, born out of the same womb of history, remain locked in a cycle of mistrust and animosity, their shared past a source of both pain and potential. The partition serves as a stark reminder of the human cost of division, of the ease with which differences can be exploited to sow discord and violence. It is a reminder that the quest for peace and unity is an ongoing process, one that requires constant vigilance and a commitment to understanding and empathy. The scars of partition are not just etched in the memories of those who lived through it, but are also deeply ingrained in the physical landscape of the subcontinent. The Radcliffe Line, hastily drawn as a geographical marker of division, cut through communities, villages, and even houses, leaving behind a legacy of displacement and fractured identities. The border regions, once vibrant hubs of cultural exchange and trade, transformed into militarized zones, rife with tension and suspicion. The flow of people and goods, once a natural part of life, became restricted, hindering economic growth and fostering a sense of isolation. Even today, remnants of the partition are visible in the abandoned houses, the deserted villages, and the fragmented railway lines that stand as silent witnesses to the upheaval that unfolded. These physical reminders serve as a stark testament to the enduring impact of partition, long after the initial wounds have healed. The media, both print and radio, played a pivotal role in shaping the narrative of partition. Newspapers, with their limited reach but powerful imagery, brought the horrors of communal violence into sharp focus. They became chronicles of both hope and despair, capturing the euphoria of independence alongside the heart-wrenching tales of loss and displacement. Radio, with its immediacy and wider reach, became a lifeline for many, broadcasting news of the unfolding events and providing a platform for political leaders to address the newly formed nations. However, it also became a tool for spreading propaganda and inciting fear, further fueling the cycle of violence and mistrust. The stories the media chose to highlight, the voices they amplified, and the narratives they constructed played a crucial role in shaping public perception and influencing the course of history. The legacy of partition, as we understand it today, is deeply intertwined with the way it was portrayed and documented by the media of the time. The partition continues to hold a profound place in India's collective consciousness. It is a stark reminder of the fragility of peace and the devastating consequences of communal hatred. The stories of that tumultuous period, passed down through generations, serve as cautionary tales, urging future generations to learn from the mistakes of the past. The partition also left an indelible mark on India's cultural landscape. Literature, cinema, and art continue to grapple with the themes of loss, displacement, and the search for identity in a post-partition world. These works serve as powerful reminders of the enduring legacy of partition and its impact on the human psyche. The partition, though a dark chapter in India's history, also underscores the resilience of the human spirit. From the ashes of division rose a nation